Hello, God, I wish I had me sitting here in front of me almost 6 years ago to have told me all the things that I want to tell you, because things could probably be so different. Not that things are bad, like I love my business and I feel good about where I'm at in my business for the time that I've been in real estate. Certainly, I think that if I had somebody sitting in front of me telling me the things and also felt like I had time to consume all the content and do all the things, that who knows where I might be now. My name's Hannah Caldwell. I've been a realtor for 5 years, almost 6. I've been a mom for now 3.5 of those 5 years. I have 2 little kiddos. I am the primary income provider for my family, and I understand. I've been there. I know how hard it is. I remember being, this is the scariest thing that I think I've ever done. But I'm here today to give you the plan. If you want to be a new agent, this is the plan. This is what you need to do if you are a new agent in 2026. I'm going to give you from front to back. There was a gal in my town that was thinking about becoming a licensed real estate agent and was asking for advice from a couple of us different real estate agents. And she wasn't quite sure when she would get licensed yet. She was like, maybe I'm going to, and by getting licensed, I mean literally taking the test. The barrier to entry to becoming a real estate agent is quite low from the standpoint of getting the paper that says you're a licensed real estate agent. But she said that, now might not be the right time. She was thinking also about moving locations. And so does she start becoming a real estate agent here now, or does she wait until she moves to the new place? And that could be as soon as 6 months. So she would be getting licensed here to be a real estate agent here for 6 months and then moving somewhere new. And my advice to her was this: don't get licensed now if you're going to move, first off. If you're going to move and get your license. Real estate licenses don't transfer from state to state. You're going to have to take the test again anyway. And the likelihood that you're going to be able to build business and make any money in the 6 months that you're going to be here is so slim. So just save yourself the time and effort and don't do that. But I wish that this is the very, very, very first thing that you should be doing if you are thinking about getting your real estate agent, is there's so much content available to you via YouTube, via books, via podcasts, audiobooks, so many things. Start learning now. Do what you're doing. However you found this video, you're already on the right track. But you want to research whether or not this career is for you. But you can start before you're even licensed, start learning the things that the real estate school and the licensing test doesn't teach you. It does not teach you how to build a business. It does not teach you how to fill out a contract. It does not teach you what you need to be prepared financially, all of the things that are going to be a part of being an independent contractor. But the biggest one is how to get clients. You cannot be a successful real estate agent without clients that want to buy or sell houses. And how do you get those clients? Because the real estate school is not going to teach you. So that's my biggest piece of advice. If you are thinking about becoming a real estate agent, go now and start watching those YouTube videos just like you're doing. And there's podcasts and there's obviously old school print books and so many ways that you can start educating yourself so that when you do get licensed, if and when, you are ready to hit the ground running. So obviously, the first step then is going to be getting your license. And go into it knowing that all of the information that you are going to learn, and not to say that all of it is useless, there's important information to learn surrounding, some of the legality of being a real estate agent and, the code of ethics and safe practices around being a real estate agent, what you can and cannot do. But it's also going to teach you a lot of stuff that is super irrelevant, like how many square feet are in an acre. There is no reason ever that you are going to need to know that, except for the real estate licensing exam. So actually learn it. But after you take that test, you're never going to need to learn it again. Also, I just want to say, if you take the exam and you haven't passed yet, don't feel bad. You're not alone. Lots of agents have to take it. 1, 2, 3, sometimes 4 times before they pass, and that is totally okay. Remember that this is information. There's information that's important. I think that they are probably personally trying to trick you on some of the questions, and like so much of it is actually not going to be relevant to your career moving forward. So don't feel down on yourself if you haven't passed the first time. You got this. Once you get licensed, that license has to be hung somewhere. And this is like a thing in different industries where you need, as a licensed person in whatever field it is, you need to be observed by somebody who has some higher level of license than you to make sure that you are fully in compliance and doing the things that you're supposed to do correctly. In real estate, that looks like a principal broker, or I guess in Oregon, lots of states use different languages about brokers, agents, principal brokers, managing brokers, yada, 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 yada. So in your state, it might be a little bit different. But in Oregon, we have principal brokers and then brokers. So broker is just another term in Oregon for a real estate agent or a realtor. And our principal broker is somebody that's gone and gotten a higher level of license, and if they are in a principal broker position, you can have the license and not actually be like a managing principal broker. But if they are in a managing position, then they are checking all of the agents' licenses that are beneath them for compliance and making sure that they are well within, the law and doing things correctly. So really they are protecting you and your clients. And then that principal broker's license is being held by a brokerage. The brokerage is the company. And you're going to have to pick where you want to hang your license, what brokerage or what company you want to be at. Or if you are like the most ambitious person in the world, and I think that there's liability there, but that's your prerogative, you could start your own brokerage. But you'd have to get your principal broker's license. But that's a whole another story. And also not my recommendation at all. I actually thought about going down that road and was like, that is not my recommendation at all. But you are going to have to pick a brokerage. And my suggestion to you is to do your research. Again, I think that you're going to hear that over and over and over and over again in this video because it's so important for you to have the knowledge going in. And I had like a good amount of knowledge when I was entering, and I am the kind of person that like binge watches YouTube videos and like tries to educate myself in whatever I can. But there's so much content and there's so many things to know and so many different ways to run a real estate business that you can never consume all the content and like be 100% ready. All that aside, you're going to need to pick a brokerage, and there are different things that you're going to want to look at when you're looking at different brokerages. It is my strong opinion that you should explore all your options. So brokerages, the big difference that a lot of people are going to talk about is like your brokerage fees or your brokerage split. So you pay your brokerage to hang your license there and for them to make sure you're in compliance, and to oftentimes they give you resources, and there are different things that you get for the money that you pay them out of the commissions that you're going to earn. And every brokerage is different. Some brokerages, standard splits are like 75-25, 80-20, 85-15. And then brokerages will have various fees on top of that. Some brokerages have an ongoing 5% fee. Some have a per transaction fee of $100, $200, $250, whatever. Some charge extra for errors and omissions insurance or a managing broker. So like there's like little fees here and there at every brokerage. So make sure you ask that question. What are you getting for the money that you're going to be paying to this company? Like you're not working for them, you're paying them to be there. So make sure you explore your options, but here are the things that I think are most important. So yes, definitely look at the splits, definitely look at the money, but money is not everything. And sometimes you get what you pay for. That is true of real estate agents as well. So be the agent that people want to pay for. But you're a new agent. You need to be educated. So how's their education? How's their reputation? How is their office culture if you're going to look for a brick and mortar office? There are questions to ask yourself as well. Like, how much of a self-starter are you? Could you be at a cloud-based brokerage? Could you be working from your home? Are you self-motivated? Even at a cloud-based brokerage, like, do they have mentorship? Do they have training? How much accountability is there? Like, so many questions that you need to be asking of these companies because they should be giving you these things. And then also, what resources do they have? Do they have marketing material? Do they have branding? Do they have, like, Do they provide you signs? Do they not? So many things. There are so many things. So if you want to, you can send me an email. I'll put my email in the description box below, and you can say, what are the things that I need to ask? And I'll just send you a list, and you can have them in front of you, print them off. When you go to each brokerage, say, here's my questions, blah, 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 blah. If you're curious, I'm at Real Broker, which is a cloud-based brokerage that obviously I chose because I felt like and still feel like that it has all of those things for the right cost. Like, I don't feel like I'm overpaying for all of the resources that they provide. If you're more interested in Real Broker, please feel free, same email, shoot me an email. I actually jump on calls all the time to talk to people about becoming a new agent or if they want to be an agent at Real Broker, what that looks like. And I'm happy to jump on a Zoom call with you and talk to you if you want to do that. But that is another point. My third thing that you absolutely, and like, this is like this should be number one, but like, I'm kind of going in chronological order. So you obviously have to get your license and then you have to find a brokerage. But in terms of importance, this is the number one most important thing you need to do as a new agent. You have to find a mentor. You have to. Like, there's no, like, I literally like that is an absolute necessity. And a mentor can look very different in very different ways, right? Like, that could just be your principal broker at your brokerage. Like, that is literally part of their job, is to be some level of a mentorship. But are they managing a bunch of other agents? Like, how hands-on can they be? Whatever that may be. It could just be another agent at the brokerage that you're at. So this is what happened to me. And like, it could certainly go this way for you, is that like, well, long story short, I wasn't in real estate yet. I was buying a house. I was using a real estate agent. That real estate agent said, hey, you got a lot of knowledge about this. And like, why aren't you just in real estate? And I said, great question. Probably because it's super scary. I don't know. But I, for whatever reason in my head, said, sure, like, that sounds like a good opportunity. I'll just see how it goes. And I took her advice and I went through with it, and she became a friend of mine because she was my real estate agent. And so when I became licensed, I kind of just defaulted to the things that she had done and the things that she told me to do. And she was not a principal broker. She was just another agent and a friend. So I went to the same brokerage as her. And she helped me more than my principal broker did. When I was writing my first contract, she helped me write it. It was at the height of the market, and we were writing multiple offers for every client. And she taught me the verbiage to use for escalation clauses and how to write an addendum and so many things. I mean, and this is not the case for every mentor that you're going to have, right? But she went as far as like referring me clients that she didn't feel she had a good fit with, or when she was in a situation where she might not feel comfortable representing both parties, she would refer me that client. And those were actually two of my transactions in my first year. So grateful to her. We are still very, very close friends, but like, I actually don't know what I would have done without her when I started real estate. I suggest that you find a mentor one way or another. But some brokerages, my brokerage, Real Broker, has a mentorship program for new agents. So like, I would suggest on your list of things that you're going to be asking each brokerage, do you have one-on-one mentors? Do you have not just principal brokers, but mentors that are willing to give their time to make sure that I'm getting the attention and the accountability that I feel like I need? I really think that is the number one thing that you need as a new real estate agent. And like, I'm happy to be that for you. I mentor agents all over the country, and it's something that I really love doing because I think it's fun. It's fun to see people succeed. I want to see you win. And it's something that I wish that obviously I had my mentor and I loved her, but even then I wish that I would have had something that was like a little bit more structured, somebody that like was in a mentorship role or like was ready to take that on. Like, I don't feel like my mentor was ready to be my mentor. I think that we kind of just like fell into that relationship more or less. And like, I don't think she was prepared to like be mentoring somebody. So I wish I would have had like a true like I'm going to mentor you and that I know you're new and I'm going to help you get there and I'm going to help you succeed. And another way to do that is if you choose to join a team. Then you have a team leader and that team leader is your mentor. And that is also an option. So whatever it is, however you get there, you need to find a mentor. And then obviously, again, you just need to do your research and start learning how to gain business. And there are tons and tons and tons of different ways to do this, right? You just look up lead generation strategies for real estate and the list is going to be like so long. And so start researching them. And I think the biggest thing that I'm going to say is pick like 2, maybe 3. A lot of like brokerages will say like have 5 lead pillars, but I actually like feel like 5 is too much. And like some lead generation strategies cost a lot of money. Some are better for certain personalities. So start researching different lead generation strategies and figure out what you think is going to be A, affordable to you, B, that is something that you feel like you can do consistently, C, something that fits your personality. It's not like you're going to be like, rolling up to your computer, getting ready to do cold calls to strangers, and that makes you really uncomfortable and you're super fearful. And so then you put it off because you don't want to do it because it's not something that's fun. It doesn't match your personality. Don't pick that. Don't pick cold calling for sale by owners. Pick a different lead generation strategy, something that fits your personality, something that, is that you are going to be able to show up and do every single day, and you're not going to be fearful. Maybe a little bit fearful. You're new. That's okay. A little fear is okay, but you don't want paralyzing fear. So pick something that you know that you can be consistent at, that fits your personality, that you'll be good at. And then once you've picked those 2 things, create a business plan. Know what you're going to be doing. Create a schedule for yourself. Know when you're going to do your activities that generate income. You need to be doing activities that generate income. It is very easy when you are a new agent to fall into a pattern of being busy, doing a lot of things that aren't going to make you money. It's not to say that I don't think that you should go out and preview homes and learn what it feels like to tour a home, or shadow an inspector so you learn about the things to look for in a home that might be red flags. You should do those things, but that should not be your main focus. Your main focus should be doing activities that generate you income. So that is either prospecting or marketing. Marketing being putting out ads, being on social media, making videos, making flyers, sending mailers. That's all marketing. Prospecting is active marketing, I guess, as you could say, is you going out and finding clients. Marketing is you send stuff out and then clients come to you because they've seen your marketing or whatever, resonate with it. Prospecting is going out and finding the people and getting them to say yes. So that is door knocking. That is open houses. That is cold calling for sale by owners or expired listings. Those are things that are prospecting. And so all of those things, marketing and prospecting, are income generating activities. So make sure that you are focusing and have a business plan on what income generating activities you're going to do, when you're going to do them. Also have an idea of how much money you need to make to live. How many transactions do you actually need to close to make this a viable career for you? Because if you need to have realistic expectations, and this is literally realistic expectations should be my slogan. My slogan is actually "We do more." Caldwell & Co. Premier Real Estate, we do more, but it should be have realistic expectations, because this is what I teach everybody. This is what I teach agents. This is what I teach my clients. Have realistic expectations. How much money do you really think that you're going to make in your first year of real estate? I'll tell you right now that I would say that the average amount of time from getting your license to getting your first paycheck, which is going to be, in my market, let's give you the benefit of the doubt and say that it's going to be around $10,000. You've got a 6-month runway from when you get licensed, at least 6 months from when you get licensed to that first paycheck. Now you've got $10,000, but you have your brokerage split and your fees, and You're an independent contractor. So now you have to be accountable for your own taxes. You don't have a company that's taking them out for you now. So that $10,000 realistically is probably closer to $5,000. So you've waited 6 months from the time you got licensed to the time you closed your first transaction. You're so excited. It was so awesome. You feel very proud of yourself, which you should. You get a $10,000 check, but then you give a lot of it away. And now you're left with $5,000. And so you need to be prepared. Have realistic expectations about how long it's going to take to get to that first paycheck, about how much that first paycheck is really going to be. Next, you've got your business plan. You've got your license. You've done your research. You've got your business plan. You know, when I sit down in my office, whether that's at my house or my brokerage's office, or I'm renting a shoebox down the road, whatever it is, I sit down on Monday morning at my office and I know what I'm doing. I know my lead generation activities. Get ready to get uncomfortable, because no matter what lead generation strategies you choose, I bet you it's going to be uncomfortable. My main source of clients for the first 2 years in real estate was open houses. Just think about what an open house is. So you're a brand new real estate agent. You're not yet feeling confident in your knowledge of the industry, in your knowledge of houses, in your knowledge of your market, but you are walking into a house that's for sale and standing there with some sheets of paper, waiting for random strangers to walk in, and then what? You're supposed to just talk to them. How do you convert these random strangers that are walking in this random house into clients? It's very awkward. It's very uncomfortable. It is still awkward and uncomfortable for me sometimes. So if you're going to choose to do open houses, research it. Have a plan. Have some scripts in your back pocket. I've never been a big script person, but having bullet points, talking points that you have like going into that open house that day, maybe a couple fun facts about the neighborhood, or if it's in a place that you know, some personal story that you can share about why this could be a good house for them. And then here's the thing, is that no matter what lead generating activity you do, no matter what, you have to ask for the business. So that person comes through that open house and you have managed to get over your nerves and talk to them, and you feel like you've built some rapport. Now you're going to say, so are you already working with another agent? And they might say yes. And then you say, great. And then you carry on with the conversation and like just be a friend and chat to them about how their home search has been going. And when they walk out the door, you wish them luck and you say, I hope that you find the perfect home for you. And then you don't think about them ever again. Someone is calling me. Rude.